didn't hear. That's proud of you. That's a good one. I'm not giving you.
I should share that Saturday night on our way to the Nerdist podcast, I realized that I had lost my wallet.
Yeah.
But when we went into the podcast, I was like, I'm not going to think about this anymore. Because there's nothing I can do right this minute. After the podcast, we went back to the hotel. It wasn't there. I thought, oh my God, it could have fallen out. We had been walking through the gas lamp district and it was psycho. It could have been anywhere. So I was really scared that either it had been stolen off of my body or it had just like fallen somewhere. So I canceled my credit cards, and then the next morning, because I didn't know. So then the next morning, first thing we did on Sunday morning was go to the Lost and Found. Mm-hmm. Told them my name and what was in my wallet. And as I'm telling my name to the woman who was in front of me, the woman standing next to her was like, I recognize that name. I think I wrote your name down. Because they like record everything as it comes in. She found my name written in there with my what was in my wallet, and it was my credit cards, my cash, everything, and my ID was all in there. I walked away from the booth and broke down crying because after everything that had happened, after all these amazing things, like somebody found my wallet, took time out of their con to take it to Lost and Found, didn't steal my money, didn't steal anything from me.
Right.
It was finally the thing that just did me in. Like, this place, there's something special about it.
Jared Padalecki has been very verbal in dealing with his depression. So during their Comic-Con panel, they're in Hall H, 7,000 people. A fan had passed out like those little tea lights, the electronic ones, and she had put on them like Always Keep Fighting, Supernatural Family, 10 Years and Counting, or something like that. So I guess as like Jared, as they are in the panel, like you can watch the video and you can see Mark Shepard talking, and then Jensen, and then Jared, and Rob Benedict, who's moderating, bent down and handed Jared like a card and one of these tea lights. Moment of realization, like I'm getting goosebumps, where he realizes what they've done for him is so incredibly touching. And just people, they just held their lights up. Everybody just held up all the insult. There's all these little lights. Supernatural fandom is like a family, bottom line. Like, I know that there's a lot of others where you're like, you feel like, you can be a part of a community, but the actors and producers and writers of that show will go out and interact with fans on a regular basis.
It's another show where you're very much aware that the show is on TV.
Because of the fans, yes.
That was a cool thing that fans did for their people that they're fans of. But then the Star Wars panel basically did that for the fans. They turned around after the panel. First of all, Harrison Ford showed up.
Right.
Then they took everyone who was in Hall H to a concert at the symphony that the symphony put on of Star Wars. They gave everybody lightsabers. Getting to see the atmosphere of that place, and it was, it's not Comic-Con, but it's so connected to Comic-Con, but it's its own thing, and people are just hanging out, like playing video games, drinking alcohol.
Jeffrey Levi is one smart dude. He had bars all throughout Nerd HQ.
Yeah, like everywhere we turned, I was like, there's another bar, there's another bar.
So great.
Super positive atmosphere, loved that.
I've watched his panels on the internet for the last couple of years, and I was there. I was not sitting on my bed at home watching my tiny phone. I was actually there. Like, they could have had a panel with like a dog sitting on the stage, and I would have been like, I'm here!
If Nathan Fillion had moderated that panel,
that would have been awesome. Yeah. Everybody was just so completely awesome. Our Jedi Masters friends were awesome. Like, you just meet these people.
Your core reason is because you're a fan.
Yeah.
And that is universal when you're a fan. I found like people on panels that I related to as like creative people. Not just as like, I love you and because of what you've created. These are people who are fans who are also making a living being creative people.
When we were outside, we totally saw Stephen Moffat. Stephen Moffat. Like, so then as he's driving off, two dudes behind us were like, bye, Stephen Moffat. So then we kind of struck up a conversation with them.
About Stephen Moffat and about Comic-Con.
Right.
They had been coming, one of them had been coming for 14 years.
Right.
The con is over.
But on a high note,
The last person we saw was Stephen Moffat.
and then like Ron Jeremy for a second. It's gross. But Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat. When I walked into Hall H and I felt the energy of that place, there's no way not to have an expectation about Hall H. There just isn't. Like, you hear legends about it. Exactly like I imagined it, but in real life.
Right.
And I'm here physically in this place.
It is a unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
And you always want to see a unicorn, and you read about a unicorn and you're like, wow, it'd be so great to like go over the rainbow and see a unicorn. We went over the rainbow, we saw the unicorn.
And let me tell you, it's as awesome as you think it is.
Yes, it is. In your real life, when you meet people that are in a fandom that you either like dabble in or you are deeply entrenched in, you're automatically like, so we're best friends now, right? Like, you imagine 150,000 people having that connection. That's Comic-Con.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, don't forget to follow us on Twitter.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Like,
Retweet.
favorite our tweets, and also prepare yourselves to go to Comic-Con next year. If this sounds like something you want to do, don't wait. Get a member ID today. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
To
bye.
Comic-Con.
To Comic-Con.